Hello everybody, it's the Last Raider and we are back with another video. Today looking into bounding into comics because we've got an interesting little situation that's now come up with them. Let my phone fix here real quick. As it turns out, this is from Bounding into Comics. Marvel and DC Comics failed to crack July's top 20 graphic novel list. My Hero Academia takes 5 spots. This is not the top 10. Western, the big two, cannot take the top 20. All right, that's how bad this is getting. Okay, you would think they would fix something. They would stop with the politics and the gang of characters. By the way, they're now confirming that they're now saying, oh, Wolverine's bisexual and he's about to get into a relationship with Scott Summers, who is Cyclops. Yeah, everybody wants to see that. They don't want to see Wolverine and Scott, I don't know, fighting a monster or some nonsense, going on adventures. No, we got to talk about sex the whole time. Marvel and DC, they want to know, who are you fucking? That's what their book's about. Who of our comic book characters is fucking who and why? Anyway, continuing on. Marvel and DC once again failed to crack MPD Bookscan's top 20 adult graphic novel list in July. While Marvel and DC didn't crack the list for the first time in 4 months. In other words, they're seeing they're seeing more hits. They're seeing themselves get hammered, and it's not because of COVID, because most people don't even care about COVID now. They have stories that people don't want to read that are about topics that they don't even want their kids looking at. Okay? No one wants to be forced I've said this before on my channel. You do not want to force a parent to have a conversation with their kid they don't think their kid is ready for. That's a quick way, because the parent is going to control what the younger generation reads. They're going to control what the younger generation is going to see. And here's the thing. It's just like what, there's an old paintball saying. You got to protect the kids while you're out there. You got to let the kids have a good time, because if the kids don't show up, the sport dies. Same thing with hobbies. If you cannot get new, young kids to get involved, your hobby is going to die. That's what's going on with Marvel and DC right now. They are not able to bring young readers in, but manga can. Manga is right now pushing so hard, they're getting sick and tired of the middleman screwing with their product when it comes to the United States. And I think I'm not going to say who it is because I don't want to mess it up. But one of the manga companies now, after one of their presidents came out and said, oh, we've got a censor so we can be more acceptable in the West. They fined his ass. And then they turned around and they said, you know what? We have the ability to dub this the way we want it, and we have the distribution now to distribute it by ourselves. We're going to do this. In other words, we're not going to have Jamie Marchi going in there with any manga coming from this one company. Jamie Marchi of Funimation is not going to be able to sit down there and put Gamergate stuff in there or talk about the patriarchy or some other nonsense and force the characters to say something that she wants them to say. We're going to get probably a direct translation from Japanese to English. In other words, sub-anime may actually be worth watching from this one company. And I think they're going to see a massive uptick, because there's a hungry audience out there for not just sub, there's a hungry audience for dub anime. And if they can dub the anime, oh man, you're going to be getting a massive portion of the audience out there for manga. Because there are people like my wife she just doesn't like to read the subtitles, mostly because she's usually watching anime while she's doing something. She's not a sit down and watch it kind of person. Me, I'll sit down and I'll watch and I'll just read the anime. I'll read the subs as they come across. My wife doesn't like to do that. So sometimes she'll have to turn from the TV and she'll turn back when there's like some good action, when she can tell there's action parts. So if it's sub, she can't tell all this stuff because they're all talking in Japanese. But anyway, continuing on. ICV2 reports that Clint Elroy and First Second Books, The Adventure Zone, The Crystal Kingdom, broke into the top 20, placing second. The hardcover version of the book also placed fourth. Now, I'm not sure what this is, what book this is, I don't think that's it. Um, but it says it's not entirely owned by manga titles. In other words, so this may be one of them that's not a manga title. But continuing on, Yen Press Manhwa Solo Leveling Volume 2 by Chung Gong also broke into the top 20, placing 8th. So maybe these may not be anime. They may not be strictly anime, because that sounds, I'm going to go on a limb and say this sounds a lot more, I think Yen Press is actually a Chinese company. So this would mean that's not manga, because if you know anything, this is something that the weirdos over at Marvel and DC have been trying to do for a while. When they want you to believe that they're part of something, or what they're trying to do right now is they're trying to make you believe that manga is just like comics. And they're like, oh, they're now trying to say that they're producing anime, when in reality they're not producing anime. That is an American animation. Anime specifically means Japanese animation. It's a short term for it. Manga is basically manga comics. It's just Japanese comics is what it is. But they want you to believe, oh, this is just our stuff. We're the same group of people. No. Just because one army wins the battle does not mean the other army gets to win too, okay? This is not a participation trophy award, folks. This is capitalism. There can only be one winner and one loser. Turns out that y'all just want to be the loser all the time. Continuing on here, though. Aside from these 3 titles, the rest of the charts were indeed dominated by manga-specific manga. Specifically, manga from Viz Media, although Kodansha and Yen Press had books on the list as well. So these are probably some other companies, not a Japanese company. They're not a manga company. And even Bounding It, this is one thing I like about Bounding It Comics. Bounding It Comics does not, push the BS like the other Western comic book sites do. They give you they tell it like it really is. Anyway, continuing. Chainsaw Man Volume 1 topped the charts with Kohei Horikoshi's, I hope I didn't butcher that, My Hero Academia Volume 28 coming in 3rd. Jujutsu Kaisen, I hope I said that right as well. I'm not good at Japanese, okay, folks? I'm just going to say that right now. Volume 1 came in 4th. Horikoshi's My Hero Academia would actually take 3 other spots on the list. My Hero Academia Volume 27 came in 9th. My Hero Academia Volume 10 came in 14th. And My Hero Academia Volume 2 came in 18th. My Hero Academia Vigilantes Volume 10 by Hideyuki Furuhashi, I believe that's how that's said. I may have butchered it, and I'm sorry. Placed in 14th. So actually, My Hero Academia took over a 4th of the top 20. And My Hero Academia, if you've even watched some of the anime, I've watched some of the anime and read some of the manga. It's basically X-Men. That's what it is. It's just basically X-Men. It's kids learning how to deal with their powers, being taught how to deal with their powers. It's pretty much X-Men. Only more of a passing of the torch kind of X-Men, not X-Men stuff. I kind of equate My Hero Academia to what is the poster? There's a poster in which they have Rey handing a lightsaber over to Tony Stark, and all you see is their hands. That's what I kind of equate this to. It's Marvel handing over their pen to manga creators, because they are just kicking their ass right now. They are providing, and I've said this plenty of times, America and the West are in an entertainment drought because most of our entertainment came from 2 large comic book companies. Now they don't produce any entertainment. They produce propaganda, and people in the West are starving for entertainment. And manga is all too willing. Japan is all too willing to do this. Again, I said this also about when I mentioned, American electronics versus Japanese electronics back in the 80s, early 90s. Same thing. One group of people wants to produce something that's shit, and the Japanese want to produce something that's, good, that they can put their name behind. And guess who's winning? Japan. Continuing on. Jujutsu Kaisen also took the 17th spot with Volume 6. Juni Ito had a number of titles in the top 20. The Uzumaki 3-in-1 Deluxe Edition. Okay, I wonder if that's what I think it is. Deluxe Edition came in 6th. Tomei Complete Deluxe Edition HC came in 13th. What is that? Is that... Okay, nope. That's Demon Slayer. Other titles in the top chart included Attack on Titan Volume 1, Volume 2, or Attack on Titan Volume 1 and Volume 2 coming in 7th and 15th. Death Note Black Edition, Bath Edition Volume 1 came in 10th. Toilet Bound. Toilet Bound. That I need to find that. It came in 11th. Hunter x Hunter Volume 1 placed 12th. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Volume 22 was 16th. One Punch Man Volume 1 was 19th. And Naruto Volume 1 finished off the top 20 in 20th. So, I mean, these are all a mix between newer and older anime. As it turns out, the spot is being dominated by the newest anime, top 10, and the secondary 10 of it appears to be being dominated by older manga that's already been out for a while. People are basically going out and they're probably discovering this in the top 20, and they're like, oh, look, this is the new book. And then after they get done seeing what this book is, because this is the new thing on the site or the new thing at Barnes & Noble or wherever, they're turning around, running back, going, okay, let's get Volume 1. Because they're probably getting like Volume 17th or something like that. So they're going back and getting Volume 1 and going and checking out all this stuff. And Naruto has a massive archive. It's not as big as One Piece's archive stories, but I mean, damn. And it continues on. I mean, you've seen this with Marvel. They've tried to do this. They've tried to do it mangas. And manga pretty much just continuously tells a single story. It's episodic in the way it works. Marvel has tried to do this, but they have done it in such a way that you have to go back and buy the others, and they want you to do that. But half the time the stories are not engaging. They're not interesting. You're not going to find anything that you really want, and there's no entertainment value to it. Most of the time you've got some chicks sitting around eating somewhere, or you've got some woman, telling a man to stop mansplaining or some bullshit like that, disrespecting another character, or they're taking an already established character and they're sticking them, they're basically making them look weak and stupid so they can make their other character look good. It's kind of the type of storytelling that you see a child doing. A kid who likes Batman would insert Batman into anything, and Batman would be saving the other character in their own movie. In other words, all right, we've got, for lack of a better example, we've got Transformers. Guess what? Optimus Prime is going to be getting his ass kicked, and Batman's somehow going to show up and save the day. Oh, hey, look, He-Man? Yeah, He-Man's going to be getting his ass kicked, and Batman's going to show up and save the day. That's what Marvel has become. It's a piss poor version of writing. Anyway, as I said, I thought there was more to this, but as I said, this is kind of par for the course. I mean, like I said in an earlier video, you're seeing Japan make a better product and start kicking the West's ass with it. They are beating the tar out of them, and the West is just, they don't know what to do because the people in charge don't know anything but politics. They don't know heroics. They don't know any of this stuff. And they don't even know the basics of making a hero. You don't see a lot of heroes in Marvel doing very heroic things. I mean, one of the things I asked, my wife was sitting there, we were at a comic shop, and she was looking through the books, and she goes, why is it that people don't want to buy these books anymore? And I said, well, how many books have you looked through? She goes, I've looked through like 14 of them. I said, okay. How many times have you seen a hero save someone's life? And she goes, what do you mean? I said, just the most cliche method of saving a person. How many people have they pulled out of a burning building since you've been looking through the back issues? She goes, none. I said, well, there you go. It's a point where Marvel is going to have to get back to the point of looking there. And actually DC, before they went crazy, did this with Superman when they did the large 100 page volumes. They had one where Superman goes to the Midwest and begins saving people from a tornado. The tornado's it didn't talk about racism. It didn't talk about nothing. It was a very good story. And they really hit Midwesterners People like I live right next to Tornado Alley. We just dealt with a tornado last night. Upon doing this, yeah, if you're like, "Wow, you survived a tornado?" Yeah, one touchdown like 20 miles from my town and just tore a path through. And we're like, eh. Well, my kid last night was like, "Dad, are we gonna be okay?" I looked at her. I said, "Do you see Dad having a problem?" She goes, "No." I said, "Yeah, it's because me and tornadoes, we're like this. I grew up in this country." Well, Mom's freaking out. Yeah, Mom's from Florida. There's a big difference. She's not as tough as Dad is. But anyway, off that tangent, you in that book you saw Superman take on a tornado, and no one was racist. No one was anything. He didn't smash the patriarchy or anything. He was just Superman being Superman, saving people's lives with a smile. Brightening. He's going through there and reassuring people. Hey, look, Superman. It's kind of like My Hero Academia. Probably the best thing that All Might ever did. The most Superman thing that All Might could do is his catchphrase. You have nothing to fear because I am here. That is what Superman is. And like I said, My Hero Academia is more Superman than DC Comics. Think about that. Anyway, folks, I'm the Laz Vader. Tell me what you think about manga taking the top 20. And this is my prediction. If Marvel and DC do not do something quickly, they are going to not even take the top 30 in another, I would say, 4 months. We will see Marvel not take the top 30. We will see Marvel and DC books fall that far. And even then, I don't think they'll fix the problems they're having right now. Anyway, folks, tell me what you think. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. And as always, stay safe, stay frosty. See you guys next video. Bye-bye now.